Things are moving fast. The market is hot, and if you've been watching closely, you've probably noticed how the big picture is lining up perfectly with where crypto is headed. We've now seen record capital inflows into US markets, with the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and the Dow all hitting fresh all-time highs. And of course, Bitcoin joined the party by officially breaking through its previous high by a pretty big stretch. This isn't just price action, it's a signal. A signal that liquidity is returning and high-risk assets are back on the table. I know a lot of you are rushing to fill up your ports before we truly take off. But I hope you're not just blindly buying this and that. You should already know that narratives are what move markets. And right now, one of the strongest narratives is definitely Solana. Whether you love it or hate it, there's no denying how fast the ecosystem has grown and how big the user base has become. From meme coins and NFTs to DeFi projects and AI agents, Solana is definitely maturing into a well-rounded chain. Meanwhile, we're seeing some big shifts in how crypto is being treated on a global stage. Just last week, the SEC released their disclosure rules. These are major guidance explaining how crypto ETFs must disclose custody information and risks. Although this might feel like a bad thing, like the government is being more strict on crypto, but actually this is a clear signal that regulatory clarity is right around the corner. These guidelines will help fast-track the approval of new ETFs, and it will help bring more large-cap projects into the hands of TradFi investors. And already, a Solana staking ETF by Rex Osprey launched with $12 million raised on its first day. Then we also have the Grayscale large-cap fund with Sol, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, and XRP clawing its way out of the SEC's chokehold and into the hands of the public. At the same time, Bitmining, a publicly traded crypto miner, announced it's pivoting its treasury into Solana. Their stock doubled after they shared their plans to allocate between $200 and $300 million worth of Sol to their reserves. That's major institutional capital moving directly into the Solana ecosystem. So companies are focusing their treasuries on Solana, and institutions are finally opening spot funds for the token as well. Things are really opening up. But the biggest Solana news had to be the pumpfun token launch. So let's talk about it. Solana just witnessed one of the most insane token launches we've ever seen. The Trench headquarters, pumpfun, finally dropped their pump token, and it raised a whopping $500 million in just 12 minutes. Yeah, you heard that right. The entire pre-sale sold out almost instantly, pushing the project to fully diluted valuation of $4 billion right out of the gate. That's meme coin madness, but on an entirely different level. The hype was building for weeks, and as soon as the token went live, people piled in. Prices jumped over 40% on secondary markets like Hyperliquid before it even launched officially. Also, the pumpfun team even made a power move by acquiring CoolScan, one of the top wallet tracking platforms. And this is to bring social and trading data right into the meme coin space. It shows one thing loud and clear: liquidity is coming back to Solana, and retail hype is coming back with it. Everyone was watching this launch. Volume surged across the ecosystem, other coins pumped, and it felt like the early days of Trench season again. But here's the kicker: Solana held up. No outages or shutdowns, even with all the traffic. That's a huge shift from what we saw last cycle, which also shows the chain is evolving. So we're seeing liquidity flow back, but it doesn't just flood into everything all at once. It follows a specific path, and it's called the path to alt season. Here's how it works. Phase 1 starts with Bitcoin. This is where the capital flows in first. Bitcoin pumps hard and grabs all the headlines. It's the safest bet in crypto, and it's where institutional money usually enters. That's the phase we've been experiencing for a while now. Phase 2 is when Ethereum starts gaining strength. The ETH BTC ratio begins to raise, signaling that some capital is rotating out of Bitcoin and into ETH. This phase often overlaps with the tail end of the Bitcoin pump, and it's usually the clear signal that the altcoin market is about to heat up. Phase 3 is when large cap altcoins start flying. Think Solana, Avalanche, XRP, maybe even Cardano. These are the coins people feel safer rotating into, and you'll see narratives like Ethereum killers start to dominate. Phase 4 is the final blow off. This is when the floodgates open and capital pours into low caps and meme coins. It's driven by retail FOMO, influencers going full send, and wild price action. And you have to be careful because this phase comes with a major risk. People call it the euphoric phase, and while everyone is jumping for joy, it's where I would personally already be well into my exit strategy. Right now, we're somewhere between phase 1 and 2, but I definitely think we've moved forward on the latter after the recent Bitcoin climb. We saw ETH also have a pretty big climb of its own, and it managed to briefly break the $3,000 barrier, which is a huge milestone that we haven't seen since all the way back in January. So basically, alt season isn't a myth, it's a pattern. And if you know the signals, you'll never be caught off guard. And I'll tell you something that could help. Since we're tracking these macro signals daily over at the FireHustle VIP Discord, this is the part where I want to invite you to join us. I'm in there every single day breaking down market trends, talking strategy with the community, and staying ahead of narratives before they play out. If you want to go deeper, the link is in the description below. Now, let's turn our attention to Solana itself. It's been one of the strongest performers lately, and that's not just about price. The Solana network is seeing a surge in demand. In fact, daily active addresses have surpassed 3.3 million, and the total value locked is hovering around $9 billion. That's a big recovery from last cycle's lows and shows how fast this ecosystem is expanding. But Solana isn't just growing in DeFi. There's some solid projects in the ecosystem that are doing big things. So which ones am I looking at right now? Well, let's start taking a look at Render, which has become one of the most dominant players in the decentralized AI and GPU computing space. I know it feels like it's been forever since we've talked about the GPU narrative. Unlike normal cloud providers, Render connects people who have unused GPU power with developers, artists, and AI researchers who need that power to render complex scenes or run advanced models. It's like Airbnb for GPUs, but all decentralized and running on the blockchain. Render originally operated on Ethereum, but it's since migrated to Solana for better scalability and lower fees. That move alone gave Render a huge edge when it comes to on-chain cost efficiency, which is important when you're dealing with thousands of small transactions and real-time compute. Right now, Render sits at a market cap of just under $2 billion. I know it's far from its December 2024 all-time high of over $5 billion, but the project has had a decent bounce lately, considering it was trading at $1.5 billion in April. As for utility, we've seen major film studios use Render Network in the past, but on top of that, NFT projects and even AI startups are starting to use it too. And people forget that Render has partnered with some of the big players like Apple's Metal API in the past as well. But what makes this exciting is that Render doesn't just have a hype narrative, it has real revenue, real users, and real demand as well. And with Solana as its base layer now, it has the power to scale like crazy. If AI continues to dominate headlines and GPU demands keep exploding, Render could be a very important infrastructure play. And if you're looking to pick up some Render, I know just a place. See, when I'm filling up my bags, I make sure my capital is spread across multiple exchanges. There's just too much risk putting all your trust in one platform. One of the exchanges that I use the most is easily WEEX. They've got insanely low fees, a super clean UI, and you can just sign up with just your email. If you want to try them out, you can use the link in the description and you'll get a $200 USDT bonus as well. The bonus is only for the next 200 people, so seriously, make sure to snag yours while you have the chance. So we had the AI narrative covered, but what about DeFi? Well, that's where I want to talk to you about Jito protocol. So if you've been staking Sol and haven't heard of Jito, you might be missing out. Jito is a liquid staking protocol that not only gives users staking rewards, but also adds something called MEV or maximal extractable value. Basically, when validators reorder or bundle transactions in a smart way, they generate extra profit. And Jito passes that back to its users. It's kind of like getting cash back on your staking. The TVL on Jito has exploded, now sitting at over $2.8 billion, making it one of the largest protocols on all of Solana. And with more than 18% of all staked Sol flowing through Jito, it's basically become a core piece of Solana's staking infrastructure. Looking at the charts, Jito is sitting at a market cap of just under $700 million. Again, still a little far from its previous all-time high of $1 billion last year, but let's see what the team can do. And of course, we have to talk about meme coins. We have Bonk, the meme coin that's been making some big headlines lately, and I'll talk about why. So Bonk is the largest meme coin on Solana and the fourth largest overall by market cap. The biggest news around Bonk was definitely the launch of their Let's Bonk launchpad. To get an idea on how popular it is right now, look at this chart from DeFi Llama showing top protocols by revenue. Yes, Let's Bonk has been surpassing even pumpfun in 24-hour revenue, but the 30-day revenue still isn't there yet. So let's see if they can keep this up or if the hype will die down. And looking at the charts, Bonk is sitting at a market cap of just under $2 billion, which is halfway down from its previous all-time high last year of over $4 billion. But let's wrap this up with some big takeaways. So Solana has gone from being written off in the bear market to now leading in on-chain activity, attracting major partnerships and onboarding the next wave of users. Whether it's meme coins, NFTs, payments, or institutions, Solana is building aggressively in every narrative. It's got solid plays in different different narratives like AI, DeFi, and even meme coins for the degens. But even that is just scratching the surface on the Solana ecosystem. There are still so many narratives and projects that I can cover in future videos, so I want to hear from you. What Solana projects are you most bullish on? Or do you have all of your bags on a different chain? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's keep the conversation going. And that's it for today. Remember, just because I'm talking about a project doesn't mean you should blindly invest in it. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own research and understand the risk before making any investment decisions. If you're interested in the projects I'm watching closely, come and join me in the FireHustle VIP Discord. The link is in the description below. And if you want more videos like this, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next one.